Many students have learned to view the Founding Fathers as an organization of demigods who will never arise again in history. Demigods who wondrously formulated a set of beliefs and institutions that would soon become a foundation for democracy around the globe. Washington, Jefferson, Adams, Madison, and Hamilton. These members of the revolutionary generation and their collaborators were visionaries accountable not only for the rise of representative government established in the standard of popular sovereignty, but also conspiracy and the purchase. Each section exemplifies why the founding of America is about tragedy as well as triumph by focusing on the actions of one of the founding fathers. This endows the reader to gain a fuller understanding of the different perspectives. Each chapter illustrates the situation in detail and gives the author's interpretation of the motives behind the father's actions. Ellis analyzes why the father did what he did and also how the decision impacted American history as a whole. Using various references, such as quotes from the Founding Fathers, newspaper articles, textbook sections, and other historical accounts, Ellis gives sufficient support for his claims, making him believable and reliable to his readers. This establishes his ethos, causing his argument to gain support and credibility. Although Ellis argues that the Founding Fathers had many flaws, he also acknowledges their achievements. In his opinion, the 5 key accomplishments of the Fathers were that they won their first successful war for colonial independence in the modern era, defeating the most powerful army and navy in the world. They constituted the first nation-sized republic. They conceived the first completely secular state. They created multiple and overlapping sources of authority in which the blurring of jurisdiction between federal and state power became an asset rather than a liability, and they encouraged ongoing debate, forming the basis of the modern liberal state. Ellis aims to educate everyone through his book American Creation. He elaborates on every topic, making it easier for his readers to understand the book. He also provides background information on each section, allowing all of his readers to be fully educated, whether they previously studied the topic or not. For example, when Ellis discussed the Declaration of Independence, he provided information such as the author, Thomas Jefferson, and the motives behind the words that were chosen. Ellis's book was made for readers who are fully educated on the topic, such as fellow historians who wish to study another's perspective, and for readers that may not know as much on the matter. While Ellis's book brings much insight into the development of America that can rarely be found elsewhere, it raises many questions that cannot be answered by any. When Ellis discusses the many flaws of the Founding Fathers, one can't help but wonder what would have happened if the Founding Fathers had acted differently. No living being can answer this question today. No one will know if alternative decisions would have greatly benefited the country or have even worse consequences. However, Ellis's goal in American Creation is not to speculate different options, but rather to give an accurate chronicle of America's beginning, including the motives behind people's actions, their flaws, and how this affected American history as a whole. He aims to inform the public that since our thought to be perfect Founding Fathers were flawed, we should expect flaws in our modern society. In our current government, the political leaders should not aim to follow the decisions of our Founding Fathers, not because they contain flaws, but because our society today is completely different from the society that existed in the time of our fathers. The Founding Fathers can be looked towards for inspiration and guidance, but political leaders today should remember that our culture has been extensively altered since the time. While making their decisions, they should take into account the current situation, such as the economy, and the needs of the people that they are governing. Our leaders today need to adapt to their times and lead the country through their successes and failures, just as the Founding Fathers did many years ago. In the future, these leaders may be studied by historians, documenting their triumphs and tragedies, just as Joseph Ellis has done with the Founding Fathers of America. On one hand, the political masterminds behind the Constitution could boast of a monumental achievement in human history. But at the same time, blacks and Native Americans were left in the doldrums, condemned to years of slavery in one case, and near extinction in the other. Ellis asks, how did those same leaders manage to be so great in some situations and so terribly at fault in others? The mixed legacy of the Founding Fathers, their remarkable accomplishments paired with their failures to put an end to slavery and prevent the expulsion of Native Americans, challenges the popular conception of the founders as marble statue heroes.